Alright, let's try these examples together. So again, we have a situation where we have a coefficient in front of the x. That is going to lead to a change in period. And so let's start our sine chart. So here are the points for pi, or for sine. Now this 1/2 again is our period, or sorry, affects our period. It's not our period, it changes our period. Our period is going to be 2 pi divided by that 1/2, and that ends up equaling 4 pi if you do fraction division. So our period should be 4 pi on this one, and we're actually going to next divide all of our x's by this 1/2 as well. So we're going to have 0 pi divided by 1/2. That's still going to just be 0 pi. And so we got 0 pi 0. Then we're going to go with pi over 2 divided by 1/2. That's going to end up equaling pi over 2 times 2 over 1. That's going to be pi. And that's going to have a y-coordinate of 1. We'll take pi this time and divide it by 1/2. That will equal pi over 1 times 2 over 1. That gives me 2 pi for a y-coordinate of 0. Then we've got 3 pi over 2 divided by 1/2. So that's 3 pi over 2 times 2 over 1. That's just 3 pi. I know this is a little bit blurry here. Sorry, this is the best video recorder that I've got so far. 2 pi divided by 1/2, that we already figured out was 4 pi. So here's our period of 4 pi going from 0 ending at 4 pi. And so let's graph that. Really easy graph to finish. And just at 0 we're at 0, pi we're at 1, 2 pi 0, 3 pi negative 1, 4 pi 0. And so there's our points right there. Okay, let's go on. Well, take another look at that if you need to. There's our final points. Notice still we have that period of 4 pi. It took us 4 pi to start, then finish. Okay, let's check out the next one. This time we have both. We have two different things here. So first of all, it's cosines. Let me get my cosine points. Here are my cosine points. Now this time I do have an amplitude change. I'll take care of that real quick. That's just us multiplying our y's by 3. So no big deal there. Now we need to take care of our x's and recognize that our period is now 2 pi divided by this b of 2, and our period ends up being pi. So we're going to go ahead and also divide all of our x's by that coefficient of x. So we'll have 0 divided by 2, that is just 0. That doesn't change. And then we have pi over 2 divided by 2. That's the same as saying pi over 2 times 1 over 2, and that gives us pi over 4. Now we have pi divided by 2. We can just leave it as pi over 2. Now we have 3 pi over 2 divided by 2. That's the same as 3 pi over 2 times 1 over 2, because this was 2 over 1. 1 over 2, so that's 3 pi over 4. And we'll finish with 2 pi divided by 2. That's just pi. So now our y value there is 3. So our x's took from 0 pi out to 1 pi to finish the full cycle this time. So our graph is going to look like this. Goes pi over 4, pi over 2, 3 pi over 4, and pi. And then it wheels back and forth between a positive 3 and a negative 3. And so cosine starts at the top, baseline bottom, baseline top. There's our curve, and here's our points. Okay, and so let's try the last example this time. Let's see what's going on with this one. It's 12:40 right now. A little tired. So, okay, this time let's go ahead. It's a sine graph, so we'll start with our sine values. Here they are. Now this time I've got both an amplitude and a horizontal or a vertical shift. So I'm going to turn all those to twice as big, so 2 and then -2. And now I have to subtract 1 from all of them because they're all going to drop down. So I'm left with -1, 1, -1, -3, and -1. So we've taken care of both the changes that would affect our y coordinate. So these are our final y coordinates right here. All we've got to do now is adjust the period. And so the period will be 2 pi divided by the 2, that is our coefficient of x. And so we just get a period of pi. And we actually already know what it looks like to have a period of pi because we had the same exact period over there. So I'm not going to bother going through all the steps this time because I don't have to, I don't think. You saw how I got all those. If I divide all my x's by that coefficient of x in the problem, I end up with 0, pi over 4, pi over 2, 3 pi over 4, and pi. Going through that same process, I already have my y's, -1, 1, -1, -3, and -1. And so let's graph that. So at 0, we'll be at -1, pi over 4, +1, pi over 2, back to -1, 3 pi over 4, -3, and a pi back to -1. And this is our 5 points. Hopefully you enjoyed this one.